Hallo und herzlich willkommen zurück zu The Forgotten City. Wir haben beim letzten Mal da drüben ungefähr den Al gefunden, den wir suchen sollten. Der hat sich erhängt und hat uns gesagt, dass wir sehen werden, wenn wir durch das Portal gehen, dass es kein Zurück mehr gibt und wir sollen lieber nicht durchs Portal gehen. Aber weil wir neugierig sind, machen wir das jetzt natürlich. Und deswegen, hüpf, gehen wir durch das Portal. Uiui. Wo geht's denn jetzt hin? Jetzt geht's ins Weltall, oder was? Jetzt geht das Spiel los. Es dauert jetzt wieder einen Moment, bis es geladen hat. Ich hoffe nicht zu lange. So, jetzt schauen wir mal, wo wir da hinkommen. Tritt durch den Übergang in die Vergangenheit. Wir sind jetzt also in der Vergangenheit gelandet und ich nehme mal an, dass wir hier diesen Tempel sehen, in den wir gerade reingegangen sind, der kaputt war. Inspizieren. Ein römisches Relief, das ein großes kreisförmiges Portal und zwei Frauen darstellt. Ich frage mich, wer sie sein könnten. Das ist natürlich eine gute Frage. Und ui, guckt euch das mal an. Wenn wir hier, schon alleine das Bild, wenn wir hier rausgehen. Das ist doch toll, hä? So hat es hier also mal ausgesehen. Wenn wir uns jetzt hier umdrehen, das ist das Portal, in das wir gerade reingegangen sind. Von da drüben sind wir gekommen und da ungefähr war der Felsen, wo der Al gehangen ist oder hängt, je nachdem. So, und wir gehen jetzt mal auf diesen jungen Mann zu. Sprich mit mir, sonst muss ich vorlesen. Salve Freund, ich bin Galerius. Würdet ihr mir sagen, wer ihr seid und was ihr im
Salve friend.
Proserpina-Schrein gemacht habt?
Mind telling me who you are and what you were doing in the shrine of Proserpina?
Ich bin Cäsus und ich komme aus der Zukunft. Augenblick, sprecht ihr Englisch? Proserpina-Schrein. Ich bin Cäsus und ich habe mich verlaufen.
No idea what you're talking about. Oh, wait. Are you a bit, not right in the head? That's all right, friend. Everyone's welcome here.
Das ist aber lieb von dir. Im Ernst, welches Datum haben wir heute? Danke, schätze ich.
We sort of lose track of the date down here, but it feels like the beginning of spring to me, so I'd say early March?
Das ist ja schön. Welches Jahr?
It's 817 AUC. Sorry, you look confused. 817 years since the founding of Rome. Which part of the empire are you from exactly? Hey, not so loud. Just saying that name could land you in trouble here. If you haven't heard, his cultists burned down half of Rome last year.
Ja.
Horrible business. I heard Nero executed some of them, but a lot of people are still angry with them. Even down here. So, if you're one of them, keep it to yourself. But listen, most folks seem a bit confused when they get here, but you seem very lost, and in more ways than one. So let me make this nice and simple for you. Live by our law here, and we'll all get along just fine.
Natürlich. Euren Gesetzen?
Not laws, law. There's just one, the golden rule, and the punishment for breaking it's, well, it's kind of horrific. But our magistrate insists we take all newcomers to see him, so I guess I'll let him fill you in. So then, you coming? Follow me.
Also
When I
gut,
first
dann
arrived, I
folgen
couldn't
wir ihm
believe
mal.
there were people living down here. But, as you can see, we've got a nice little community now.
Aha, da ist ein Seil.
Only 23 of us at the moment, if you count the 3 who are missing. No idea how, since nobody knows a way out. But it's just big and dark enough to get lost in, if you're not careful.
Aha.
Aren't you going to introduce me to your handsome new friend, Galerius?
Keep it in your loincloth, Aurelia. I'm taking him to see the magistrate.
That pompous old bore won't be magistrate for much longer. Anyone who helps vote him out today drinks at my bar for free tonight.
Aha.
Politics. I'd stay clear of it and her, if I were you. She's... it's not my place to say. Down on your right is our farm, where I grow all the food you'll ever want. As long as all you want is leek, cabbage, and wheat.
Wer ist das denn?
That one usually gets a chuckle.
The bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone.
Don't mind Livia. She means well. She's just been in a bad place since... Well, you know, I don't know what happened to her. Up here on your
Guckt mal,
right
wie
is
schön
the
das hier
chasm.
ist.
If you've got a weapon, it belongs way down at the bottom. Up on your left is the Forum, where you can visit the market or get yourself patched up in Lucretia's clinic in the Shrine of Apollo. Most of us have almost nothing, just what we had on us when we arrived, and what we've been able to make and scrounge up since. And this central plateau is where the magistrate and the other patricians live, so don't expect a warm welcome.
Hilarious. You're meant to be working the farm, not trudging dirt into the villas.
Take it easy, Horatius. I was just taking our new friend here to see the magistrate.
Well, he's asked me to escort the newcomer personally. The farm. Go. Now.
You'd better go with him. But just remember, they're not like you and me. Don't let them use you.
What was that?
Ja, na, müsstest du
What
ja
did
auch
you
nicht.
say?
I said it'll take some getting used to.
Yeah, I'm watching you, farm boy.
Seid gegrüßt, Bürger.
Greetings, citizen. My name's Horatius. Magistrate Sentius asked me to escort you to him personally. Follow me, please. I expect the magistrate wants to brief you about the golden rule. It shouldn't take too long. He's busy preparing for the election later today.
Ja,
Follow me.
also gut, ich
The only
folge
thing
dir.
you really need to understand right now is the golden rule. Let me see if I can explain it this way. When I was serving in the Legion, if there was a mutiny brewing in one cohort, the legate in charge wouldn't waste time finding the bad apples among hundreds.
Na der
They
wohnt
just
aber nicht
divided us
schlecht.
into groups of 10, made us draw straws, and whoever drew the short straw had to be executed by the other 9. Didn't matter whether he'd done anything wrong. One of us in 10 would die for the crimes of the collective.
Aha,
We call it decimation. If that seems like rough justice to you, you're in for a rude shock. Because the golden rule is exactly 10 times worse. The magistrate can
wer ist
explain
die,
the
die da
rest.
liegt?
He's up these stairs.
Alles klar. Gehen wir doch mal die Treppe rauf. Da ist doch der Magistrat. Na, der lebt aber wirklich nicht schlecht hier. Guten Tag.
We're finally alone. I assume you already know who I am. May I know your name?
Natürlich.
A curious name, to match a curious accent. But I digress. Now, you're probably wondering why I summoned you, and I'll get to that. But first, take a look at this wondrous place, would you? A secret city built deep in the mountains, many hundreds of years ago. Indeed. More importantly, consider the miraculous community we've built here over the last 7 months. 22 complete strangers brought together by the fates, living and working together in our own little paradise.
Naja, gut, ob das so schön ist.
And in all that time, not a single sin has been committed. No fights, no theft, nothing. Have you ever witnessed something so extraordinary as a city without sin?
Nö.
Nor could I until I came here. But the reason for this miracle is as simple as it is terrifying. If even one person commits a sin here, every last one of us will die.
Oi, oi, oi.
You see, the builders of this place, whoever they were, left inscriptions warning, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one." From what we can gather, breaking the law here will anger the gods and provoke a terrible punishment. Like the curses of Medusa and Midas combined, turning us all to gold. We've come to call it the golden.
Deswegen sind die alle in Gold verwandelt. Weil die alle wahrscheinlich gesündigt haben. Oder zumindest eine.
And now it seems that day is finally here. All that matters is that somebody in this city is about to break the golden rule. Why else would Proserpina send you now? Unless you and I can stop them, our doom is assured. I know that's a lot to take in, and you look like you have questions. Please, ask away.
Also, was zählt hier als Sünde?
An
Als
intelligent
allererstes.
question. There was a good deal of debate about that in our first weeks here. Does it refer to crimes or to some other ill-defined wrong? Of course, everyone agrees on the basics. No theft, no assault, and certainly no murder. But beyond that, it was more difficult to reach a consensus. What about lying, insulting someone, blasphemy, trespass, trying to escape, bribery, infidelity, suicide? As magistrate, I had to exercise leadership, and so I made a decision. We must uphold the laws of the Empire to a standard never before seen. And we must honor the peace of the gods, the sacred accord between the gods and the people of Rome. It is only by offering the gods the proper respect that we may prosper, as Rome has for centuries.
Also, das leuchtet mir ein, oder ich bin nicht sicher, ob das eine gute Idee ist. Was legal ist, ist nicht immer moralisch. Und viele eurer Regeln und Bräuche werden da, wo ich herkomme, als barbarisch angesehen.
Barbaric? What are you talking about? The Empire is the most civilizing force in the known world.
Ja, wenn du meinst.
Rome is a beacon of light in the darkness. For 800 years she has borne great statesmen, philosophers, poets, artists and engineers. We have comprehensive laws protecting the rights of our citizens, which have unified countless warring tribes all across the Mediterranean and beyond, from Gallia to Judea.
Natürlich.
All our citizens are treated the same, regardless of the color of their skin or their sexual preference. Can you say the same? When our people are starving, they are given food rations, and when they are wronged, they have the right to bring the guilty party before the magistrate. Our laws forbid treason, murder, assault, and rape, as well as theft and arson, and so on. No other civilization in the world is so advanced, and you have the hubris to call us barbaric?
Mein Fehler, erlauben eure Gesetze Sklavenbesitz nicht? Sieht sich euer Volk nicht blutige Sportkämpfe zur Unterhaltung an? Haben Frauen nicht weniger Rechte als Männer? Verfolgt ihr Christen nicht? Wendet ihr nicht Kollektivbestrafung an?
Are you talking about our practice of decimation? Of course. We could hardly unite all these warring tribes without a disciplined, formidable legion.
Okay.
You mean the blasphemous cult responsible for burning down half of Rome last year? It's hard to blame the people for being angry about that. Of course, but with fewer rights come fewer responsibilities, and the right to be protected by their fathers and husbands. On occasion, but our gladiators are almost all volunteers seeking glory, or condemned prisoners who would have been executed anyway. I do not see the harm. Of course, what else would we do with those prisoners of war who would otherwise have been executed? And besides, there are laws for their protection as well. Well, right now, you're a long, long way from home. I have made my pronouncement on the subject. Unfortunately, there are still those here who resist, whispering blasphemous and treasonous lies in the shadows. I would be keeping a close eye on them if I were you.
Also der weiß ja ganz schön viel für die 7 Monate, die er da jetzt schon Magistrat ist. Proserpina hat euch geschickt, was soll das heißen?
You see, in my search for a way to save my people, I learned of an ancient ritual to Proserpina, the goddess of the cycle of life and renewal. It's said to open a doorway in time, so that if the unthinkable happens, one person can pass through it and travel back to the past. And when I saw you arrive in a flash of light from the goddess's shrine, I knew that person was you. You don't belong in our town.
Woher hat denn der gesehen, dass wir mit am Lichtblitz gekommen sind?
2,000 years? That is unfathomable. Please, tell me, in your time, what did you see? What had become of us? Of this city? I have imagined it, our downfall, 1,000 times. But it still breaks my heart to hear the truth of it.
Man darf ja nicht lügen. Wie funktioniert das Ritual?
All I can tell you is that it's a ritual sacrifice to Proserpina. I stumbled across instructions. I have to recite a prayer, and of course, as with all rituals, some sacrifice is involved. Usually that means wine or food, or in some cases a live animal. In this case, the sacrifice is rather more costly. The life of the person performing the ritual. I don't suppose you saw any sign of me in future?
Ich habe menschliche Überreste im Tempel gesehen. Habe ich zwar nicht, aber das ist wohl der Erzählstrang.
I assume that was me. If I'm forced to perform the ritual, it's going to cost me everything. You'll try to make sure I don't need to use it?
Aber natürlich.
Well, I suppose that's all I can ask for.
Aber wirklich. Warum könnt ihr der Sache nicht selbst
I believe
nachgehen?
you're in the best position to go around asking people questions. You're new here, and it'll seem perfectly normal. As for me, well, it pains me to say my attempts to impose order have not earned me many friends. I fear I may not even remain magistrate after today's election. The people here would only treat my curiosity with suspicion. You shouldn't have that problem, though, unless, of course, you get off on the wrong foot.
Gibt es irgendwelche
Do you
Verdächtigen?
ever stare at a problem for so long that you can't see it for what it is?
Eigentlich nicht.
What's needed here is a fresh pair of eyes. The less I prejudice the independence of your investigation, the better.
Okay. Woher weiß ich, dass nicht ihr die verantwortliche Person seid? Das ist eine...
Me? Why would you suspect me? I've just told you. I'm about to sacrifice my own life to ensure these people have a second chance. What reason could you possibly have to suspect me, of all people? I'm glad you think so. Without trust, without each other, we won't be able to prevent what is about to happen. Well, all right. There are those who wish to vote me out of office so that they can pursue their own misguided political agenda. Frankly, their selfishness and recklessness risk destabilizing the entire city. I would be looking very carefully at them if I were you.
Okay. Wie kommt es, dass wir einander verstehen? Ich spreche kein Latein.
You mean you couldn't speak Latin before you arrived here? How strange. But the gods are active here, and their temples and shrines hum with power like
Dann sind es
nowhere
also
else.
Götterschreine, die da als
Perhaps
Ruinen
when Proserpina
rumstanden waren
brought
auf
you
dem
here,
Berg oder
she
Göttertempel.
planted the seed of Latin in your mind so that you could better serve her. An unbeliever, then? If you come up with a better explanation, I'll be interested to hear it.
Falls ich das tue, werdet ihr mir helfen, in meine eigene Zeit zurückzukehren.
If I understand Proserpina's ritual correctly, that problem should take care of itself. Let me see if I can explain. If you manage to prevent the sin that breaks the golden rule, I won't need to bring you here. I won't create the portal, and you will never have been able to come here. Thus, you'll have created a paradox. If this occurs, you should be flung back to your own time, having changed the past for all of us. Make sense?
Ja. Okay,
Ah,
also.
so, are you with me? Can I count on you to figure out who's about to break the golden rule? Wonderful. Now, I need you to investigate the city, talk to everyone, help them if it'll win their trust. I authorize you to enter private homes and inspect possessions and documents, unless, of course, you're asked to leave. Figure out who the culprit is, and as soon as you have a name, come back and tell me immediately.
Okay, na dann fangen wir mal an.
Oh, and one last thing. If I were you, I'd start my investigation by visiting Lucretia at the Shrine of Apollo in the Forum. I heard wailing from there not long ago. Seems like something's not right.
Aha. Alles klar. Also, wir haben jetzt wie ein längeres Gespräch mit dem Magister gehabt oder mit dem Magistrat. Und wie ihr vielleicht jetzt, es war ein bisschen kompliziert erklärt. Also, wenn wir hier eine Sünde begehen, wir oder andere Leute in diesem Ort, dann wird die goldene Regel ausgerufen. Das heißt, alle in diesem Ort, in dieser Zeit sterben. Und wenn die goldene Regel ausgerufen ist, dann rennt dieser Magistrat oben zum Portal. Drück mal doch mal Tab. Questverfolgung, okay. Also finde heraus, was Lucretia zu schaffen macht. Ursprungsort und die goldene Regel. Okay, also wenn die goldene Regel dann ausgerufen ist, dann rennt der Magistrat zum Schrein und spricht ein Gebet und opfert was, um dann quasi die goldene Regel wieder außer Kraft zu setzen und die Leute wieder in die Vergangenheit zu holen, damit quasi alle wieder eine zweite Chance kriegen. Das ist quasi wie und täglich grüßt das Murmeltier, also man erlebt immer wieder die gleiche Situation. Bis ich in dem Fall was unternehme, dass die Leute alle wieder zurückgeholt werden in die Zukunft, sag ich mal. So, hier liegt eine Nachricht von Centilla. Von Centilla an Sentius. Möge Jupiter Optimus Maximus euch weiterhin beschützen und leiten. Vielen Dank dafür, dass ihr mich zu eurer Tochter gemacht habt und vielen Dank für den entzückenden Geburtstagsanhänger. Ich verspreche, dass ich ihn immer tragen werde. Ich fühle mich so sicher und glücklich, weil ich euch als meinen Vater und Sentia als Schwester habe. Die Wahlen nächsten Monat scheinen euch Sorgen zu bereiten, aber wenn ihr den Leuten den starken und vertrauenswürdigen Mann zeigt, den ich kenne, dann werdet ihr zweifellos wiedergewählt werden. Jo. Haben wir noch was? Nee. Okay, das ist ja schon mal schön. Das scheint also seine Tochter zu sein. Jetzt gehen wir mal runter. Da steht jemand. Ja, das Spiel ist halt sehr sprechlastig. Am Anfang. Bis wir alle kennen. Fremdling.
Ugh, I wish Horatius would stop letting barbarians in here. What do you want?
Das ist aber eine nette.
You know, some people say it's the creation of an all-seeing God who's watching everything we do. But what kind of an awful, incompetent God would let my sister go missing on his or her watch? Did you hear that? Curse you, you coward! Where is my sister? What do you have to say for yourself? No response. Nothing. That's what I thought. I'm telling you, this mysterious god of ours has to be asleep on the job. Either that, or, like people are saying, it really is just a children's fable my father is exploiting to frighten us into behaving. I suppose we will.
Ja. Was ist
I'm
eure
Cynthia,
Geschichte?
eldest daughter of the magistrate. But you'd know that if you'd been invited in here and introduced properly. What are you doing in here? And why are you dressed like that? Really? I'd never have noticed, what with your flawless accent, appropriate attire, and impressive mastery of our
Meine
customs.
Güte, Zicke.
Now, remind me, why are we having this conversation? Ugh, what is it with you people? You heard the rumor that my little sister escaped and figure I must know a way out too. Is that it? Well, that's just a stupid rumor. We have no idea what happened to Scintilla. I wish you mouth breathers would just leave me alone.
Okay, na gut, kann ich helfen?
I don't know. Can you? Can you tell me how a person could have disappeared from a city with no exits and no crime? Was she snatched away by the harpies?
Wahrscheinlich.
It was 3 weeks ago. We ate our evening meal together, and I remember she seemed happy. In love. We went into our rooms, I went to sleep, and when I woke up, she was gone. That's it. I think so, yes. But she was very careful about keeping his identity a secret.
Na
even
gut,
from me.
bei dem Vater vielleicht gar nicht. Warum?
Because our father had plans to marry her off, eventually. And even a rumor about her attachment to some mystery man might have ruined those plans.
Was hatten die für ein Auge da? Ist ja komisch. Euer Vater hat nichts davon erwähnt, als ich mit ihm gesprochen habe. Wisst ihr warum?
That doesn't surprise me. To him, it was like a prize cow wandering off from its paddock.
Meine Güte.
He's upset, of course, but he says he's too busy with the election to help look for her. So he's letting Horatius do the heavy lifting. Some good that's done.
Aha. Ist es möglich, dass ihr Liebhaber daran
I
beteiligt war?
don't know. But it's been 3 weeks since she disappeared, and he hasn't come forward. That might speak to a guilty conscience. All I know is, whoever he is, he's still here in the city.
Centius, Sentia, Scintilla, warum ähneln sich eure Namen so sehr?
You really aren't from here, are you? All Roman women are named after their fathers. I think it's their way of branding us, like cattle to be sold at market. His family name is Centius, so I'm Centia because I'm the eldest. And my little sister is formerly Centia Minor, but she is affectionately known as Scintilla.
Ah ja. Ihr seht erstaunlich entspannt aus, wenn man bedenkt, dass eure Schwester verschwunden ist. Ich glaube, das machen wir nicht, oder? Sollten wir das machen?
I hope you're not insinuating I'm
Ach doch.
somehow pleased with her disappearance.
Ich glaube, ihr wisst etwas, das ihr mir nicht sagt. Wollen wir das mal probieren?
Ugh, you're awful. Get out of my villa and never speak to me again.
Okay. Also, das war zumindest schon mal nicht so schlimm, außer dass die jetzt beleidigt ist. So, jetzt gucken wir mal hier so rein, so, was es da so alles gibt. So. So, und hier können wir jetzt mal sehen. Also wir könnten jetzt stehlen, die 17 Denar, die da drin sind. Und dann bricht man aber die goldene Regel. Hier ist Cynthias Tagebuch. Liebes Tagebuch, heute schlug mein Vater vor, ich solle Tagebuch schreiben, um mich abzulenken, während wir alle mit dem plötzlichen und schrecklichen Verschwinden meiner Schwester zu kämpfen haben. Als pflichtbewusste Tochter werde ich dem natürlich nachkommen. Die folgenden Seiten enthalten meine intimsten Geheimnisse. Ich weiß, dass ihr dies lest, Vater. Ich bin vielleicht jung, aber haltet mich nicht für dumm. Wir haben alle das Recht auf unsere Geheimnisse. Cynthia. Ja, da hat sie eigentlich recht. Okay, wir lassen den Gegenstand zurück. Was ist damit? Kosmetiktopf. Okay, nichts Beeindruckendes. Ja, und das sieht man halt jetzt da kann man jetzt so verschiedene Gegenstände untersuchen, kann sich das angucken, dann wird erklärt, ein kleiner Flakon, der ein rudimentäres Parfüm aus Blumen und Öl enthält. Das hat eigentlich mit der Geschichte selber nichts zu tun, aber da lernt man ein bisschen was. Zum Beispiel auch, dass von den Männern die Töchter immer wie die Männer genannt werden in Rom. Okay. Jetzt werden wir uns mal ein bisschen umschauen, aber das machen wir natürlich nicht jetzt, sondern das machen wir in der nächsten Folge. Ich stelle mich jetzt mal daher. Ach so. Ja, ich stelle mich jetzt mal neben dich und damit mit dem schönen Ausblick hier auf den Marktplatz, auf den der da unten trainiert, beenden wir diese Folge. Ich hoffe, sie hat euch gefallen. Das Spiel ist, wie gesagt, sehr textlastig am Anfang. Aber wie gesagt, so schon alleine die Atmosphäre, finde ich, die catcht einen sehr. In diesem Sinne bedanke ich mich fürs Zusehen und wünsche euch alles Gute und bis zum nächsten Mal. Ade!